Do you ever wonder if all of these devices that we're watching, listening to, this camera, our phones, our computers, do you ever wonder if any of those things are paying attention and listening to you all the time? Guess what? They are. Hi, I'm Scott and you're watching 45 RPM. I'm so glad you could join me. Thank you for spending some time with me. Now, we're going to talk for a few minutes about all of these devices and everything that are listening to everything we say and do, watching us. You know, I used to have a friend who kept a piece of tape right over the camera right there on the computer, so that every time he was on the computer, he didn't have to worry about whether or not someone had hacked in and was watching what he was doing. You know, I think that there's probably a lot more of that going on than we think there is. I was watching a news report just today, and it was telling about how some new information is coming out about how some of these social media companies are always listening. And I remember one time I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were going back and forth, just laughing, having a good time, sharing some quotes from the movie Nacho Libre, you know, like, "Chancho, I need to buy some sweats," you know, stuff like that. And he was funny. He says, "Yeah, I remember the one where he was holding the ear of corn and he knocked the corn out of his hand and said, 'Get that corn out of my face!'" You know, if you haven't seen the movie, you need to see it. But anyway, do you know that same night I turned on Facebook to go in there and do some work, and there was an advertisement for a coffee mug with Nacho Libre's face on it and an ear of corn, and it said, "Get that corn out of my face." Coincidence? No. Now that we know this stuff is going on all around us. You can't walk down the street without a camera getting your face. We understand that. That's the age that we live in, the day that we live in. But I want to tell you something a little bit deeper. I want to go a little bit further than that. You know, that's really nothing new, is it? For a believer, for a Christian, you know, we always have the presence of God with us. If we are Christians, then the presence of God is always around us, within us, inside of us. He's always here. He's always here. That's why it just drives me crazy sometimes whenever we sing the songs like, "Oh Lord, come fill this place. Oh Lord, be near to me. I want more of you, Jesus." You know, because we've got him. He is here. He is near, you know? So those things to me are almost a little bit redundant, with due respect. You know, I'm not trying to be nasty or negative or whatever, but anyway, all of that to say this: God is already watching everything we do. If we're Christians, we're believers, he's already watching everything that we do. He already sees everything that we do. You know, when I stop and I realize the magnitude of what I'm saying when I say that, it's mind-boggling. God has heard the worst speech and language to ever come out of my mouth. God has heard the nastiest, most conniving things that I've ever said about anybody. God has seen the worst deeds and sins that I've ever committed. He's seen those. And you know what blows my mind is that he chose to die for me anyway. In spite of who I am, in spite of what I've done, in spite of what I've said, he chose to die for me anyway. He loves us so much that he will die for us regardless of the things that we've done in the past. There is no sin too great. There is no act too disgusting, too vile, that he cannot save us from it because of what happened at the cross. He was the propitiation for that sin. You know, other people are going to say what they want to say about you. They're going to believe what they want to believe about you. They are. And whether it's true or not. You know, 1 Peter 4:4 says that your friends are going to be surprised when you don't continue to do the things that they're doing that are destructive, that are evil, that are bad. They're going to be surprised by that, and they're going to slander you. They're going to say what they're going to say about you. And I'm saying this from experience. I know what it feels like to have people talk about me. But there is one. There is an audience of one that I need to be concerned about. I don't need to worry about what everybody else says and thinks. I need to be concerned with him. I need to be concerned with the one who died on a cross for me. He died in spite of all these things that he saw, he heard, he knows is real. He knows is true. It's not slander, it's reality. Filthy rags. Holy God died for me, died for you. I want to be real on Tuesday as well as on Sunday, regardless of who's watching, who's listening. But I want to, more than anything, please the one who is always watching, who is always listening. Even so, come Lord Jesus.